Yo, 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 hey. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Happy Sunday. Come on in, 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 come on into our Sunday sermon, Sunday service, Sunday light. That's what we could call it. Sunday light. It's a Sunday light. Yeah, I like that. Sunday light, right? We ain't really have a name for it. It's a Sunday sermon, but that's already a thing. Sunday light with Healer World Ministries. We are getting on the other platform real quick, and we're going to be ready to jump into it. Got a beautiful sermon lined up for you guys today. Really excited to talk about this thing today. This morning, it's Sunday morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. on a Sunday. All right, it's nice and early. Get up, get into it, get it done. All right, spread the word. Tap into the people. Tap into the spirit. Tap into the message. Great rising, happy Sunday, beautiful beloveds, peace and love. Happy Sunday, happy. Hold on, I'm trying to get this thing right here. There we go. That is right. Everything is right. Come on in. Happy Soulful Sunday, Mona Love, my baby girl. Whew. So on this Sunday, we are going to talk about being resourcefulness. All right. Title of the sermon is When You Have to Be Resourceful. All right. I thought it was a fitting discussion, a fitting thing to talk about in times like this, right? In times where there's so many things happening. 1 second, I gotta open up the window a bit. Give me 1 second, guys. A little hot in here. You know, get a little hot in the crib, get a little hot at the studio. But yeah, I thought it would be a great thing to talk about. Being resourceful, remembering how resourceful we are, you are, right? When all of the things like what's happening in the world are happening, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of challenging circumstances for a lot of people, right? A lot of unfortunate circumstances and situations for a lot of people, a lot of humans. Who are our neighbors, who are our family members, who are our friends, who are our co-workers, who are our educators, who are our doctors. All right, so we're going to get into that in a bit. But we want to first just start with an opening prayer. We always want to send positive vibrations out. We always want to be intentional with our thoughts and with our energy. We want to ensure that those who are near and far, those who are dear to us, and those who are, for lack of a better word, strangers to us, we want to make sure that as humans, as able humans, as humans who are able to think, who are able to feel, who are able to process, who are able to be intentional, who are able to understand. I think it is always important that we send out extra love to those who may be struggling. Although we may be struggling ourselves, right? It's a very real thing. There are times when people say, "Well, I'm struggling. How can I send love?" Easy. You have enough love. You have thoughts. You can every waking moment. I don't think that you're spending thinking about just you and your situation and whatever you're struggling about. And if you are, then it's okay to say you need extra love, right? That's okay. But for the most part, those of us, most of us, if not all of us, we do have the capacity, if we choose to, even in our own struggles, even in our own storms, we do have the ability to be an umbrella for somebody else, right? To be a source of light for someone else. And so I just want to take a few moments to send that love, right? We ask divine source energy, we ask spirit, we ask our ancestors, right? We ask those ancestors, those angels and those ascended masters, known and unknown, to be a cover, to be an anchor, to be a resource, to be a light to those who are struggling, to those who are conflicted, to those who may be hungry, to those who may be homeless, to those who may be without adequate clothing. As the weather, especially in New York City and really just anywhere in the world right now, as the weather is unpredictable, as the weather is being controlled by human sources, we ask that those who have inadequate clothing be clothed, those who have inadequate housing be housed, Those who don't have housing be housed. We ask that those who don't have adequate food and who are not receiving proper nutrition and intelligence and energy from their food sources, that they receive healthy food. We ask that those who may be incarcerated, whether justly or unjustly, may they be protected, may they be guided if they are incarcerated for something that they did do, for something that, some harm that they did cause someone. We ask that their hearts be softened and that mercy be given to them. Those who are incarcerated unjustly, we ask that justice be served and that they are recognized and they are freed. We ask that those who may be sick, those who may be in hospitals or at home and not feeling well, we ask that they be healed. We ask that whatever issue is bothering them, is troubling them, is afflicting them, be removed, be relieved. We ask that they be free from all sickness. We ask that those who are simply struggling, those who are struggling financially, those who are struggling emotionally, those who are in unhealthy relationships, those who are in unhealthy environments, we ask that they be given the strength, the courage, the wisdom, not only to endure, but to thrive, to be liberated, to be freed. We ask these things for our brothers and our sisters. We ask with faith, with a deep, deep, deep knowing that all things are possible, that everything that we dream of, everything that we think of, everything that we believe can come true, even the things that seem impossible. We know that they can be made manifest. We know that they can become our reality because we are here and we were once a figment of someone's imagination. We were once just a thought. We were once not here. And so we are. And so we know that everything is possible. And so we ask all of the energies in the universe, all of the elements to conspire and to give what is needed and to be what is needed to those who need, to those who are worthy, and to those who may feel like they are unworthy of simple love, of care. Every human on this planet is worthy of love and of care and of peace and of comfort and of family and of freedom. So we ask our ancestors, we ask Spirit, Great Spirit, that has always been present, that will always be present, even when this earth, even when this planet, even when this time ceases to be. We ask that that spirit, that energy, be exactly what it needs to be for those who need it, whether it's food, clothing, shelter, freedom, or liberation from an unhealthy relationship, from an unhealthy job and situation. We ask that if a family or an individual needs money for whatever it may need, whatever they may need money for, that they find the money, that the money be given to them, that the money be revealed to them, or the idea to make the money be revealed to them, the opportunity to generate the money appear to them. We send love, we send light, and we ask these things again with faith and knowing that all shall come to pass. We say Ashe, 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 Ashe. And so, thank you for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to share this sermon. Be sure to share the service with those in your network, those on your platforms, your family, your friends. Just hit the share button, share it to your general feed, Facebook feed, or if you're on Instagram, send it to 5 to 10 of your friends who may be interested in tuning in on this beautiful Sunday morning. It is a little rainy outside, but we bring the sun, we bring the light, even when it seems a little gloomy. And so once again, the sermon is titled, When You Have to Be Resourceful. When you have to be resourceful. All right, I know that we're living in times where there's a lot of uncertainty, where a lot of people are living in situations and experiencing circumstances in which they don't have enough. They don't have enough strength. They don't have enough health, vitality. They don't have enough money. Some don't have adequate clothing. There's not enough housing, right? Some people don't have enough right now. And in times like this, where there's great uncertainty and when the people in leadership positions, the people in powerful positions are not taking care of the people, right? We can get into a mindset of complaining and of blaming. Now, there is a time where people have to be accountable, and you can point a finger and say, this person is responsible for that. This person caused that pain. This person caused that shortage. This person caused that lack. This person or this system, right, is responsible for this circumstance, right? For example, poverty in America, and really anywhere in the world, but specifically in America, is only a creation of the government, right? Let's be clear. There are situations, there are circumstances where people, where systems, where institutions, where organizations are responsible. However, there's always two ways to approach a situation. One way, the way that most of us have been conditioned to approach a situation specifically like this that I'm speaking about, is to blame. Is to say, my mother is responsible, my father is responsible. They're responsible because they did, and or they're responsible because they didn't do, right? My spouse is responsible. My ex is responsible. My children are responsible for why I'm not living my dream. I had babies and I had to take care of my babies, so I couldn't go get that degree. I had babies, I had to take care of my babies, so I couldn't pursue that career. I had babies, I had to take care of my babies, so I couldn't move to that city or that state that I've been dreaming of. And we, as intelligent human beings, we can always find a reason or an excuse. We can always find one. And we can always give validity to any excuse or reason that we find, to anyone who asks, right? We are intelligent enough. We can finagle. We can make it seem like what we're saying is accurate, and we can believe it with our whole being. We can explain it. We can articulate it. We can point to research. We can point to other people who also, right? All of that is accurate. All of that is very, 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 very true. However, there is another way to approach these situations. It's to recognize who is accountable, to recognize who should be responsible or is responsible, right? To identify them, and to still point the finger back at self and say, I have to, I must, I can, I will, I shall overcome, be free, be liberated, get the home I need, generate the income I need, in spite of whatever these people are doing. In spite of whatever these people are doing, I can, I will, I shall, I can, I must. I have to, right? I have to. Why? Because one, I want to. Number two, because my family, my friends, my community is dependent on me. And so, to be real clear and to point at the elephant in the room, right now the United States government is restricting, is taking away so many resources that Americans have looked forward to for generations. The Social Security has been under attack for a long time. Medicaid, right? Just freaking jobs, right? Jobs. There have been so many companies in the last 2 to 3 years that has laid off. I think at one point Google laid off 1,000 employees. Right? There are major companies that have been laying off hundreds and thousands of people in the last few years. So many people have lost their income, right? Have had to freaking shape their whole lives because everything has been uprooted. And this is very painful. It is freaking alarming, right? It is freaking times of uncertainty. You don't really know what's happening, right? Like, I'm 41 years old. There are people my age, a little bit older, maybe even a little bit younger, who have been taught. You go to work, right? You go to school, you get a good job, you work for a good company, right? That was still the message that my generation got. You work for a good company, right? You work for 30 to 40 years, you get a pension, right? You get your 401k, you retire, and you live your next 20 years, right? Traveling every so often, right? Like raising your grandchildren, taking a trip here and there, doing those things. And people have looked forward to that. People have banked on that. People have built their whole lives around that idea. And that idea right now is not certain. That idea right now of living, number one, living that long, depending on your ethnic background, all right, and depending on where you live and your financial status, right, that idea is no longer guaranteed. That idea is no longer guaranteed that you will live that long, that you will have a job that long, and you can get a pension, right? People's freaking 401ks, people's pensions, people's money that they've been promised that they are owed, right? The government institutions have been taking it away. They've been stripping it. And so people have a right to be upset. People have a right to feel wrong. People have a right to feel betrayed. People absolutely should not trust their government. So in those times, what do? How long do you complain? How long do we complain? How long do we point the finger and say they? At what point do we say, okay, they, but I must, right? Because I have to, because my children, because my parents, because my siblings, because my spouse, because my family is dependent on me. It's dependent on me. They are dependent on me. Yes, they were dependent on the government. Some will say you never should have been dependent on the government. No need to argue about that now. We're here. So in these times, we have to remember who we are. We have to remember what we are made of. We are the resources. We are resourceful. We are connected to the source. We are manifestations of divine source energy. You and me, those who are watching. You and me, we are manifestations as human beings of divine source energy. We have every single thing inside of us that we need to create any reality that we desire. In spite of whatever corrupt government or politician, despite whatever freaking entrepreneur, billionaire, whatever they want to do, they cannot. We've heard the saying all the time, the only person who can stop you is you. That's true. It seems like there's other people who can stop you because they can put roadblocks. Yes, that's real. People do put roadblocks. But when you know who you are, when you know what you are, when you know where you come from, when you know what you're connected to, when you know that you are literally plugged into the source, you become resourceful and you become more creative. You remember that you are a builder. You remember that your ancestors, regardless of your ethnic background, your ancestors built something. They built something. Somewhere in this world, you come from a line of people that somewhere in this world built something substantial. You and me. That's part of our history. Part of our lineage. All right? People have been, our people have been in unfortunate circumstances before. Our people have been in unfortunate circumstances before. And what do? We got creative. We got creative and we remembered to lean on each other. We remembered that although we are individual links, right? Although we are individual links in the chain, we are still links in the chain and we are connected to each other. We are intertwined with one another. We are interdependent. We are interconnected. There's a saying that says, what you eat don't make me poop. It's funny, right? It's partly accurate, all right? Directly, what you eating right now is not going to make me use the bathroom. It's not going to. However, everything each one of us does has an impact on somebody else. Small or big. Small, minute, or big. Every single thing we do has an impact. Literally, our breath, how we breathe, impacts those around us directly, right? It gets real deep. It gets real deep, but we are interconnected. We are intertwined, right? No matter how different the frequency or the vibration that we are operating on is, we are still connected. The synapses are somehow still tapping into each other. They're still touching each other, right? Understand that consciousness is individual consciousness, right? Your consciousness, but then it's the big consciousness when we are all part of the grand scheme. We are all part of the bigger picture. So we are connected and we are dependent on each other. And we have to remember that. We have to remember that sometimes we forget Too often we forget. Too often we think that, oh, self-made, all I need is me. Nah, man. Even if you are a business owner, right? Even if you are a solo entrepreneur, even if that is the case, you need clients, you need customers, right? Even if you could build your own website, design your own products, you need printers, you need manufacturers, right? You need the internet, you need phone service, right? You need somebody, you need oil, you need gas, you need water, you need somebody, you need delivery people, right? Whatever it is that you're into, whatever business you're into, you need somebody else to make your business run. Too often we forget that. We get big-headed, we get cocky, right? We get cocky as me. And like, you could be great. You could be great. I know I'm one of the greatest humans to ever live. I know that. Can't nobody tell me different. No one on this planet, no one who will come on this planet could tell me that I am not one of the greatest humans to ever live. Nobody can tell me that. However, I'm very freaking aware that my greatness is 100% interconnected and interlinked with the people around me, right? With the people around me who I know and other people in the world who I may not know, right? For example, I'm a writer, right? That's one of the things. I'm a writer, right? I'm a filmmaker. I can, right, shoot my own films. I can be in my own films. I can act. I can write a film for myself. I can write a film for myself, learn how to shoot it, put the camera on a tripod, right? But to get it to the next level, right? And it's really a great film. It's a great script. I'm able to find some music. I'm able to make some music. I'm able to mix it, do all the stuff on my own. Make the music online. Do all of the things. Color graded and edited and uploaded. Number one, uploaded. I needed the platform, right? But that's neither here nor there. But to get it to the next level, right? I need somebody who sees it, who says, "Yo, I got a film festival." Right? I need somebody else who I may not know. All right, we all do. Right? We all do. But before you could need anybody else, before you could really, right, not even need, utilize the connections with other people, you got to remember who you are. You got to remember what's inside. You got to remember what you're capable of. Remember what your gift is. Remember what your dream is. A lot of times people say, I don't know my purpose. I don't know what my dream is. I don't really got no direction. I often like to ask, what was your dream as a little child? What was your dream before the world made you forget? What was your dream before you got hurt? What was your dream before you felt betrayed? What was your dream before you was pressured into growing up? Grow up already. What was your dream before that? What was your dream before you experienced pain? What was your dream before you had to become responsible when you were a little too young to be responsible for others? What was your dream? All of us have a dream. All of us had a dream. And that dream is still there. Yes, as we age, right, and as things happen, we may not be able to live the dream the way we once had it, right? We may not be able to live the dream the way we once had it. But like, life is beautiful because you could dream a new dream. Number one, you could live that dream in a completely different way, or you could dream a new dream. You can. That's the beauty of dreams, is that at any point you can close your eyes and you can envision it. Okay, this is my dream. Seems hard. Maybe hard for some, but it's possible. It's possible to dream a new dream. It's possible to remember the old dream. It's possible to remember it and make it happen. It's possible, right? You got to remember who you are. Remember where you come from. Remember what you're made of. Remember that you've already overcome so much. Remember that. I like the gentleman Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn says, right, I was listening to a lecture that he gave a long time ago. I think 1981, something like that. A few years before I was born, right? He gave a lecture, right? They uploaded the video on YouTube. And he was talking about, so Jim Rohn was in network marketing, right? He was in Mary Kay and a couple of other companies, right? He's a big network marketer. Big speaker, personal development, right? Big guy. He said they asked him, this is the 1970s, right? They were going into the 80s. They asked him, what are the 80s going to be like, right? Because there was uncertainty, right? It was uncertainty. It was times of uncertainty, the president and the government. And he said, I can tell you what the 80s is going to be like. He said, come close. This is top secret. He said, the 80s are going to be just about how it's always been. That's wisdom. People laughed, but it's true. Every generation goes through uncertainty. Every generation goes through a period of building and destroying, destruction and rebuilding. Every generation goes through that to some degree. Every generation loses, fails, wins. Same thing. It always happens. It seems different because social media, because certain faces are in place, right? It may seem different, but there's always been struggle. There's always been challenges. Yet there's always been beauty at the same time. There's always been greatness. There's always been joy. There's always been success. Right now, as challenging as things are for so many freaking people all around the world, right? As challenging as things are for people all around the world, from Sudan to Congo to Chicago, right? To freaking right here in New York City, right? To freaking Palestine, to South America, right? As challenging as things are for so many freaking people all around the world, there is beauty happening, baby. There is beauty happening. There are children inventing things. There are children breaking records, right? I think one of the young ladies just recently freaking unlocked or broke something that was held by Einstein, right? Like able to solve a code or something like that that Einstein signed however many years ago, right? Like it's magic happening right now. And it always has been like that. It's always been ups and downs, right? And there's a balance, right? There's the yin and the yang, we say, right? Like the Libra scales. Balance is always, right? And it may seem unfair and it may seem like, oh, things ain't right and things are okay. But what are you paying attention to? One thing I learned in Buddhism, one thing I love, right, about Buddhism that it taught me over a decade ago that really helped to shape my perspective, that really helped to put me on a different path, a mindset. It was understanding the circle. Understanding that if I take a pen, right, if I take a circle, if I take something and I start a circle anywhere, right, I start a circle right here, and I go clockwise, right, I'm getting further away from the center, further away from where I began, right? Oh, it's going, is however, I'm also getting closer to the beginning. As further I come away, right, it's further, it's further, it's further, it's further, it's further, boom. Okay, it's real far, but it's also halfway close. Right? It's also halfway back to where it started. Wherever somebody said, I think the end is the beginning. The beginning is the end. Right? What you're looking for, you the question and the answer. Now I said that in the song. Right? And so, as I forgot who said it, but it's like very simple, right? I mean, most people said it, but no need to fret. No need to fret. Breathe, hold on, don't panic. Right? Don't panic. You, my brother and my sister, you have the power. You have what it takes. So in times like this, when it seems that the president, right, the United States government, or wherever you are, because it's not just it's multiple governments, but when it seems like your government, when it seems like your institutions, right? We saw recently the brother down in North Carolina, Marvin Sapp, tell his ushers to close the doors, don't let nobody out, because we need to raise $40K today. We've seen that. We're watching, right? Like so many things that were spoken about, like our ancestors told us about, warned us about, right? Told us to be aware of, right? Told us to be aware of, told us to pay attention to, right? We're seeing it unfold right now. And we're seeing people lose, like there's parts of America that has been part of America, American culture, and the fabric of America for my whole life, and more, right? 40 plus years, 50 plus years, 60 plus years, 70, 80 years. There are things that have been part of American culture, the very fabric of America for nearly a century, that right now in 2025 is being stripped away. And people have every right to be upset. Absolutely. You have every right to feel blindsided. You have every right to point a finger and say this person, this institution, this organization. Absolutely. But then what do you do with that? Do you point the finger, complain, and then go lay down? That's what too many average people do. That's what the average people do. They point the finger, they blame, and they go lay down and go to sleep. Only to wake up the next day, point the finger and blame again and go back to sleep, to wake up the next day and do the same thing. Never taking control. Never saying, okay, it's effed up. Okay, it's messed up. Okay, this person, these people, this institution is causing this pain. What am I going to do about it? If for no one else but for yourself, what am I going to do about it? Am I okay with this? The answer is no. Then do something. What do? You get creative. You get creative. You think about solutions. You ask the question, what can I do? Right now, they got one of my new best friends, ChatGPT, AI. You can literally ask. You can create your profile and ask, what should I do about this problem? These are my skill sets. These are my interests. What can I do? And you can get a list of ideas of things that you can do. You as an individual, the person watching this right now, if you don't know what to do, you can pull up chatgpt.com, right? You can list maybe some skills, some things that you're interested in, right? You care about, you're passionate about, right? And ask, what should I do? You can literally, you don't even got to put the interest in. You can put the question in right now. There are millions of people hungry in the world right now. There's millions of children hungry in my city right now. What can I do about that? You can ask that question and ChatGPT will give you an answer. And from that answer, you can start to get an idea. And one thing I said the other day was that not having money is not the problem, right? It may seem like the problem, but the problem is not having an idea to generate the money. That's the problem. The problem is not having the money. That's not the problem. The problem 100% is not having the idea to generate the money. And if you have the idea to generate the money, right? Like a lot of us, we do have the ideas. The problem then becomes not executing. The problem is never another person or institution. Again, they can be roadblocks. Yes, right? I will never sit here and say that there are not people and institutions and situations that can make things tougher. We know that, especially as Black folks. We know that redlining, right, is a real thing, right? The scam with the banks and the loans and being able to, that's a real, like these things are real. It's very real roadblocks out there, right? There are people who intentionally and deliberately create situations that make it tougher for you and me, 100%. Whether you're a Black man, a Black woman, right? Whether you are a Latin man, a Latin woman, whether you freaking have a disability, like what there's a lot of us, if not all of us, who are not heterosexual white men. And I would even argue that the hetero part that's a whole other topic, right? But if you are not of that general structure, then you may be at a disadvantage. Okay, what do you do with that? What do you do with that? Me remembering that as disadvantaged as I may be, right? Let's say I don't claim disadvantage, right? I'm very powerful and I can create any reality I desire, right? But if I was to identify and say I'm okay, what am I going to do with that? Because I'm going to say the way my brain works is say, okay, even if I am disadvantaged in some areas, right? One thing I learned from in the last few years working around people with real disabilities, right? I was at an award show maybe 3-4 years ago. And there were some people with disabilities, right? Visible disabilities, physical, visible, noticeable disabilities, and those who didn't have physical or visible disabilities, right? Somebody at that event said, I don't have a disability. I have another ability, right? I have a super ability, right? So there are people. So one thing we know is that when your body or when your senses, when something is not working as well, doesn't work as well as you want it to be or need it to be or it should be, other things work even greater, right? And so I would say my brain, as disadvantaged as I may be in one area, what advantages that give me in another area? Because life is balanced like that, right? So yeah, it's challenging over here, right? And this things are causing great struggles and challenges. But how can I use that on this side? What would that look like over here? And for the most part, it would look completely different. And this is when we have to get back. Again, the same exact thing always applies. Remember who you are. Nobody can stop you but you. If you believe that you are disadvantaged, if you believe that you are weak, if you believe that you cannot do it on your own, then you won't. If you believe that your future is determined by what the president does, by what the government does, by what this person does, if that's what you believe, then that's what's going to happen. And again, please, I have to keep reiterating that because I don't want anyone to ever think that I am naive enough to believe that there are not people who put roadblocks in place. Absolutely. I'm a black man with a felony. Roadblocks was in place. Right? Had opportunities to work at schools, couldn't. Violent felony. All right, roadblock. All right, roadblock. Oh, you got a felony. Mind you, at the time, freaking 10 years removed, right, from incarceration, completely changed my life. The people who freaking ran the program at the school, right, great friend, vouched for me, right? But oh no, because I have that thing. I have all of the skills, I have all of the things, but because I have this felony, I cannot work in the school. All right, I cannot work in the school. Not as a school employee. Now, is how crazy is this? I could be subcontracted to come still work in that school. I could be subcontracted to work in that school. All right, so I can still come into school, still be around the children, still do all of these things, but I can't get an actual quote unquote job with the school because of my violent felony. Roadblock made me really upset at the time, right? Really upset. But okay, maybe that's not a door for me to go into. It could be tough, right? I would never say there are not situations and circumstances and people that make things tougher. But has that stopped my show? Absolutely not. It's made me more resourceful. It's made me more creative. It's made me more more hungry, right? Because you told me no, and you told me no not because I don't have the skills, not because I don't have what it takes to do it, but because of this thing that I made a decision. I took an action when I was 20 years old, right? That led me here to prison. Got a felony. I was 20 years old. At the time, I'm 30-something years old. Like, really? Really? Life is completely different. City Council, State Senate, Congress, all vouch for me. Community members vouch for me. People who I've caused harm to vouch for me. And I still can't get the gig because of that roadblock. Okay, let me show you. Let me go around the block. Let me go around the block. Right? Let me go around the block. Let me go around the block and get in the back window. Because I'm getting in. Because because I need to, this is where I'm going. This is my crib. So I'm going to figure it out. That's what we have to do. Figure it out. Figure it out. Start thinking, start writing, start asking questions, right? One thing I want to do, I want to tell my love, right? My love, she's here, right? Start having mastermind meeting groups, right? We got all of us got so many ideas, right? We got a home, right? Yes, it's great to have an actual space, but we got homes. We got homes to bring people back into the home. This is what we needed to do, right? We say there's no space. We don't got no space. Rent is too much for studio space or for renting community space, right? A lot of us don't have the money to afford it at this time. But number one, collectively, we can afford it, right? Us being resourceful. But we got homes, right? Open up your doors. Open up your doors. Invite a few friends. Invite a few neighbors, right? Get back to the neighborhood. Invite a few neighbors. Open your doors. What can we do? We're having this problem in this area, right? This is a problem. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm doing, right? I notice this is what you're doing. I notice this is what these people are doing. How can we connect, right? Open your doors. So I want to start having mastermind meeting groups, right? With me and some friends. I got incredible, brilliant friends, right? My fiance has incredible, brilliant friends. We need to start bringing these people together, right? At our homes on a weekday evening, maybe, right? Yes, it's sacrifice. It's sacrificing sleep. It's sacrificing maybe comfortability, all of the things. But you got to be resourceful because what are you going to do? Keep complaining? I read the other day. Somebody said, Donald Trump wants to destroy the Department of Education. That is horrible. He needs the worst president ever. And the person who posted that, I remember, right? I know them. I remember they complained about how bad the Department of Education was. You complain about how bad something is. Then when someone comes up and says, I agree, it's terrible, get rid of it, you complain. Again, I get it. We are conditioned to complain. We are conditioned to never be satisfied. We are conditioned to become comfortable with something, even if we don't like it, right? Big example is the woman who's married to the abuser or in relationship with the abuser, physical abuser. She hates being abused. She does not like it. Does not like how it makes her feel. Does not like how it makes her look. Does not like any part of it. However, if you interject, if you try to get involved, she may hurt you. If you try to save her life, she may hurt you. Right? They call it Stockholm syndrome. Right? being so enamored with your abuser that you would defend them in a situation when someone is trying to save you. So a lot of us are mentally sick. A lot of us are emotionally sick. A lot of us are sick in the head, sick in the heart, right? Our spirits are not as strong as they need to be, right? A lot of us, but this is where we each must be resourceful. Are you good? All right, if you're good, here, help this person be good in that way, because this person's not good. You good emotionally? You've been divorced and you've gotten over that and you've started to date again and you found love again. Here, talk to this brother, talk to the sister. They're newly divorced and they feel like the world is over, right? They're living separately from their children, right? This is happening. They're being taken for child support. They feel like their world is over. They will never find love again. They've talked about giving up. Here, talk with this person. You've got through it. Oh, you've been broke and now you make 6 figures. You earn a high income. You're able to provide for your family, take care of your parents, take care of your children, travel when you want. Here, help this person. This person right now is struggling financially. Right? They're working, but they're struggling. They're down. They don't think it's ever going to change. Here, talk to this person. I spoke on my show a few days ago. Be a mentor. Be a mentor. Take someone under your wing. Right? You can do more than what you think you can do. You are more powerful than you think. You are more resourceful than you think. Understand this resourcefulness is about remembering who you are, remembering what's inside of you, remembering your dream, remembering your gift, tapping into it, right? And then plugging into other connections, plugging into other power sources. Each of us are a resource. Each of us are a power source, right? So plugging into yourself. How? Prayer, meditation, right? Silence, right? Time in nature, right? Writing, reading, laughing, time with loved ones, right? Tapping into yourself, right? Tapping in, making sure that you are good, right? Plugging into you, plugging into you. Plug into you. Plug into what's inside of you. The divine lives inside of you, my brothers and my sisters. The divine, the eternal source energy, spirit, eternal spirit lives inside of you and inside of me. Tap into it. Go silent. Cut off the electronics. Tell a friend you see them in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 6 months, right? Sometimes people need longer. Tell them, I'll see you guys in 6 months. I gotta go over here and get plugged in. I got over here and get reconnected. The words, listen to the words. Connected, connection, plug in. I'm the plug, right? Well, who's the plug? Come on, we not only in the streets, in business and entrepreneurship. Yo, who the plug? Right? Who's the plug? Who's the connection? Who do I need to be connected to? First, yourself. Secondly, the people around you. Right? Just like God lives in you, just like God's source lives in you, God lives in every single person that's around you. Plug in, tap in, get connected. Get connected. Increase the power, right? Increase the power. Turn it up a notch, right? Turn it up a notch. Become resourceful. Become resourceful. Remember what you're capable of. Remember what's inside of you. Remember that there is no government, there is no institution, right? There is no individual that can stop you from making happen what you want to make happen other than you. And yes, you might not intentionally, consciously stop yourself, but by blaming and stopping yourself, by pointing the finger and not taking accountability and responsibility and stopping yourself. Somebody said, I think it was Eric Thomas, E.T., right? That's my man. He said, you may not be responsible for the circumstances you were born into. You're not responsible for who your parents are. You're not responsible for where you was born, the conditions, the climate, being born into poverty. You're not responsible for that, but you're responsible for how you die. You may not be responsible for how you were born, but you're responsible for how you die. What did you do with that? Did you just, I was born in poverty. I was born to a drug-addicted mother and a father who was incarcerated, or right? Or did you just take that and that's just your story? Just staying with that? You say, okay, I was born into the situation. I don't want this to be my life forever. At some point, I have to wake up and say, okay, I want to change this. I will change this. I can change this. I am changing this. I have changed this. See how that works? See how that works from situation that you couldn't control, recognizing the situation that you could not control. But the moment you recognize the situation that you couldn't control is the moment you regain control. If you choose to say, okay, I'm going to create something different. And yes, it may be hard. Yes, it may be difficult. Yes, it may seem freaking impossible. But you could do it. It's been done before by others who have less talent than you, who has less creativity than you, right? Who have less charisma than you, who are not as handsome or beautiful as you, right? Who don't have the style and grace that you have. It's been done before. So why can't you do it? Yes, you are unique. Your challenges, your circumstances is very unique to you. But it's also unique for you. So you can do it bigger than they did it. If you believe that you are in a situation that nobody understands, that is more painful than what anybody else around you has gone through, that also means, right, that may be very true. You may have gone through some of the worst things imaginable. Very true, very real, and I am sorry. However, that also means that your destiny may be greater than everyone around you. Right? The greater the pain, the greater the potential for power. The greater the struggle, the greater the challenge, the greater the dream, the greater the destiny. Got to make that connection. We have to make that connection. Great struggle, great challenge, great obstacles. That has to mean that there's a great destiny, because that means that there's something trying to stop you from accomplishing it. The greater the challenge, the greater the freaking dream. Got to remember that. And the bigger the dream, the bigger the challenge. It's like that. You have challenges because you got goals. You got challenges because you got potential. You got challenges because you got greatness inside of you. That's why the challenges are you facing the horizon. That's why. Because greatness is inside of you. Because what you could do for this world is something greater than anyone else has ever done. So yeah, you're going to have challenges that make you want to freaking quit, that make you want to hang it all up. Yes, you have challenges like that. It also means you have a destiny that when you overcome those challenges, when you get through those challenges and you make that destiny manifest, you got a destiny waiting for you, my brothers and my sisters, that people are going to talk about, write about, and read about for centuries. That's what that means. But only if you stop blaming, only if you stop pointing the finger, only if you be 100% accountable, responsible, and say, it's up to me. It's up to me. It's up to me to change my family tree forever. It's not up to my mother. It's not up to my father. It's not up to my brother. It's not up to my sister. It's up to me. I need to do as much as I can to ensure that I put my family on a better path going forward. Because I don't like the path that I've been on. I don't like the path that we've been on. And so in times of uncertainty, in times of great strife, in times of resources being limited or taken away, is when you, my brother and my sister, have to remember that you are indeed resourceful. So when there's a lack of resources, remember that you are resourceful. You are. You have everything you need. You have the mindset, you have the thoughts, you have the ideas, you have the physical capabilities. You can make it happen. I believe in you. You just got to believe in yourself. You just got to believe in yourself, my brothers and my sisters. So believe in yourself. Believe in the people around you. Take chances. Take risk. Right? Plug into your community, your geographic, physical community. Who lives around you? Who lives on your block? Who lives next door to you? Who lives upstairs from you? Downstairs from you? Talk to people and see what can happen. Right? Talk to people. Let people know what you're up to. Let people know what you're doing. Don't get past the small talk. Get past the highs and the buys. Right? First of all, you got to start that. Right? People don't even talk to each other. So start talking to each other, and then, hey, what's going on? What are you up to? Ask a question. Yo, it's a problem that I've been thinking about. I've seen this thing on the news or in the media. I'm thinking about this problem. What do you think about it? How do you feel about it? Ask questions. Have conversation. I get it. You busy. I get it. You busy. You got a neighbor who lives next door to you who has, you are an actor. You got a neighbor who lives next door to you who's a filmmaker. You don't know that though. Or you see them with their equipment. You say, oh, yeah, that person makes films. That person does videos. You're a struggling actor. Talk to them. Hey, listen, I'm an actor. I need to create more content. I'm interested. Have a conversation. Have a conversation. You never know what could happen when you plug into your community and you have a conversation. Understand that plugging in is how we become more powerful. Plugging in and connecting to the people around us is how we become more powerful. It's how we make our lives easier and more abundant at the same freaking time. Plugging into each other, tapping into the resources around us is how we become more abundant and make our lives easier at the same exact time. It seems like an oxymoron, right? Because when you're more abundant, your life may be harder. You think maybe a common thought, oh, in order to generate more, or because I have more, my life is harder. It's like, nah, together we rise, right? We all do a little bit, we all have a lot, right? We all put together, we all have more. We're doing less work in less time, right? So plug in to your neighbors, plug in to your own creativity, to your own source energy, to your own gifts, and go be great. And that is our sermon. Thank you guys for listening. It's a lot. All right, I appreciate you guys. Any questions, comments? Who is Hunter Boom? Hey, what's going on? What's going on, brother? What's going on, Hunter Boom? I look forward to chatting with you later on this afternoon. He said is on Instagram. Destiny may be greater. Absolutely, absolutely. Peace and love. Peace and love. Ill Flicks. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Dose of sincerity. Okay, a lot of folks on Instagram tuned in. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate my love for always being here in the studio, for tuning in and for supporting this work, being a part of this work, right, in her own way, not just what I'm doing, but what she's doing, her own ministry, her own wisdom, and her own teaching, and her own lessons that she shares with the people she shares it with. Very necessary. Again, we all got to do what we can with what we have. And before we get out of here, of course, we are going to do a short meditation. All right, so please do get comfortable. If you are sitting, if you are laying, please do get comfortable. If you are sitting, please plant your feet firmly on the floor beneath you. Allow your back to be planted, or to be straightened rather, by the chair behind you. You can allow your arms, your hands to, if you're not holding your phone, of course, rest gently in your lap or by your side. If you're laying, you can just find a comfortable position. Maybe it's on your back, maybe it's on your side. All right, and just allow your eyes to close ever so softly. And just allow your breathing to naturally settle at a steady pace. Don't try to control your breathing. Don't try to manipulate your breathing. Simply become aware of it. Remembering to always breathe in through your nose, slowly, holding momentarily, and then breathing out through your nose, slowly. Pulling oxygen, air from your abdomen, from your belly, pulling it up through your chest, right, allowing the oxygen to go to your brain. So just take a few moments to allow your breathing to settle at a steady pace. As your breathing begins to settle at a steady pace, please turn your attention to your mind and become aware of all of the mind stuff that is happening up there. Become aware of all of the hopes and dreams, fears, anxieties of tomorrow. Become aware of all of the memories, the regrets of yesterday. Become aware of all of the joys and the pains of today. Become aware of the sound of my voice. Become aware of any sounds you may hear. Where I am, I hear birds chirping and I hear tires screeching on the road. I hear the rain under the tires. I hear an airplane. Become aware of it all. As your thoughts arise, as your thoughts come, You can observe them. You can watch them like a movie or your favorite show. You can smile with them. You can laugh with them. You can cry with them. But do not hold them. Allow your thoughts to be free as a butterfly. Allow them to come and allow them to go. As your breathing has settled at a steady pace and as your mind has become still, I want you to create an image of yourself today as you are right now in the space that you are occupying physically. And I want you to see yourself as full. I want you to see yourself as resourceful. I want you to take a few moments to identify any of the challenges you may be experiencing in your life. And also identify a resource that you have that can alleviate that challenge. If you need to generate more income, identify a skill set that you have or an idea that you haven't acted on yet that can lead to more income. If you are having some health challenges, maybe identify a friend you know who may have some answers to some of those health challenges, who can help heal you. Identify a challenge that you are experiencing and identify a resource that you have, whether it's internal resource, an idea, a skill set, or an external resource, a place that you know of, a friend that you may have. And as you identify challenges and resources for yourself, I want you to also identify a challenge that someone you love or someone in the world may be experiencing. And then identify a resource that you have. If someone you know is incarcerated, identify a resource. You can write them letters. You can call the prison. There are always things that we can do to not only help ourselves, but to help those around us. Each of us are resourceful. Each of us has the ability to not only change our lives, but to change the lives of everyone around us. Each of us has the capability to not only create the life that we have dreamed of, but to help those around us create the lives that they have dreamed of as well. So take a few moments to sit in this truth, in this realization that your liberation and the liberation of those you love rest on your shoulders. Know that you are loved. Know that you are cherished. Know that you are sacred and you are adored. I love you. I love you. I love you. Ashe. When you're ready, you can slowly begin to open your eyes. If they were closed, you can wiggle your toes, move your fingers, give yourself a neck roll. Come back to the space. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a beautiful week wherever you are in this world. Remember that you are more powerful than you think. Remember that you are stronger than you can imagine. You are more resourceful than the people around you or any situation may have you to believe. So go out there and make it happen. I love you guys. See you guys soon. Peace.